Hello everybody, James here, and this is kind of the video that I never thought I'd make, but I'm kind of glad that I am, in a very weird sense. Here's the thing, I never thought that somebody having a massive heart attack where they had to be in hospital for a month and also a coma for a week was good news. It's bizarre. Anyway, this is about Mike Rotunda. 2 days ago, Barry Windham gave an interview to Bill Apter, and he said the following.
We unfortunately never talked about Bray Wyatt, and that we lost him, and it was such a tragedy. Tell us about Bray Wyatt.
It's kind of tough right now. You know, yep. Mike is in hospice right now.
Mike Rotunda we're talking about.
So, anyway, that family, I love that family, but, you know, it's so tragic.
What was Bray's best quality?
They end up talking about Bray a bit more, I think, and Barry said, please send your love, please send your prayers, that kind of thing, to Mike Rotunda. Anyway, the point is that Barry Windham, who is Mike Rotunda's brother-in-law, said that he was in hospice. Now, just in case anybody doesn't know, for most people, hospice is kind of a one-way road. It's where you go when you're, either receiving palliative care. They basically can't do anything more for you. Some people do leave hospice, but for the most part, it's a one-way thing, and they think that you've got like 6 months or less to live. And it was a huge shock to an awful lot of people, including a lot of people who actually knew Mike, know Mike closely. And I did a video on it very briefly, announcing the news. Dutch spoke about it on Wednesday's episode. Stevie actually spoke about it on what's going to be Friday's episode of the Stevie Richards Show, which we're now going to edit out, because it turns out he was never in hospice, which is kind of, once again, I said at the beginning of the video, it's really bizarre to say, well, actually, he had a massive heart attack, and that's good news compared to what Barry thought. Anyway, the family clarified what was being said here on social media late on Wednesday. And they say, our family would like to take a moment to clarify some information currently circulating online regarding my father, Mike Rotunda. Yes, my uncle Barry did make a comment mentioning that my father was in hospice care while answering a question about my late brother, Windham, who we lost 2 years ago. My father is not in hospice, but rather in a rehabilitation centre. He suffered a massive heart attack on September 20th, was in a coma for a week, and spent over a month hospitalised. By the grace of God, he is now transitioned to a rehabilitation centre where our family remains present, hopeful, and focused on his recovery. It has already been a long road, and we know there is still a long road ahead. And deeply grateful for the outpouring of love, prayers, and support for the wrestling world and our local communities. And they are now asking for their privacy as they continue walking the journey together. Good energy, love and gratitude, all that kind of thing. So once again, I can't harp on this. This is weirdly good news that he's only suffered a massive heart attack. But I don't know how Barry misspoke or misinterpreted what had actually happened, because obviously this has been over a month since it happened, or around a month since it's happened. And I don't know if he just doesn't know what a hospice is, or he just meant hospital and just didn't notice, and he was thinking, I don't know, because they were talking about Bray, but wires were crossed clearly, and Mike Rotunda is not in hospice care, thankfully. He has had a massive heart attack. It's and the family apparently are still struggling greatly, and he's struggling greatly with his recovery, but he is on the road to recovery. So after all that, weirdly good news, or more positive than it seemed to be just 24 hours ago anyway. So that's the video, that's the update. I've deleted my old video where I made the mention. I've deleted the clip that Dutch Mantell is speaking about Mike, but I've left it in the full episode because in the context of that episode it makes sense. And that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching. I'll see you again for the next video.